Hey everybody, I'm Matt.
And I'm Alex.
We're coming to you from Powder7 World Headquarters in Golden, Colorado. And today we're talking about our top picks for 2022-23 powder skis. Our staff tested out all these skis the end of last season at Loveland Ski Area. We got a powder day, which was awesome. And so we compiled a bunch of the thoughts that they wrote down into our buyer's guide, now on the Liftline blog. And this is the video version, Alex.
Yes,
so what do you got for us to kick us off?
Yeah, starting off, this won very highly for our all-around kind of group. This is the Faction Prodigy 4. This is the 2022 top sheet, but for 2023 it's going to be the same construction, just a different graphic, which looks pretty sweet. Check it out. The Prodigy comes in 4 different waist widths. This is the widest at 116 underfoot, so definitely plenty of ski underneath you to help you float for the deeper stuff, but without being so wide that it's completely relegated to just powder days. They use a poplar core in this, and it's a directional twin tip shape, so you've definitely got plenty of tail rocker back here to help you kind of pivot and slash your way around. So it's a playful ski, but it definitely has a stiffer construction to it, so it can blast through kind of that choppy stuff pretty well. It also has a pretty straight side cut, so it works really well for kind of your chargy skier who loves to go fast and tackle the fall line, but still wants to be able to kind of wiggle your way around tight spots if you need to.
Sweet versatility.
Yeah, right. Always a good thing in powder skis.
Right on. All right, I'm gonna talk first about a ski that you might recognize, which is the Atomic Bent Chetler 120. This is the newest version of a ski that's been around for, a decade plus. Chris Bent Chetler with the artwork. The construction has changed a little over the years. It's the same last year to this year, just new graphics. So you've got a pretty deep rocker profile, but with some surprisingly high camber under your foot for such a surfy powder ski. Really sick bases. You've got Horizon Tech in the tips and the tails, which helps the skis float and smear. I owned these skis for a season and put like a hybrid touring binding on them, the Atomic Salomon Shift. So it's a lightweight powder ski. It's awesome for powder touring. And it's also versatile enough to ski the resort on deep days. I would say maybe while the Prodigy definitely weighs in heavier, so do most other skis in this category we're talking about. So it's not the most stout powder ski for big mountain charging. I know you'll see pros like Tim Durkee ripping these at Jackson, skiing super fast down Corbett's. Heck yeah, they'd probably disagree with me. But for most people, I think a little more on the light side, super surfy, super playful, smeary if you like to butter, spin, throw daffies, or just kind of cruise powder through nice aspen groves. These do it all. Awesome ski. This season, there are more bent Chetlers than ever. So the 120 is the powder-specific version. We also go down to the bent 110, 100, and 90, and we'll talk about almost each of those in subsequent videos. But still one of the best powder skis, one of the most loved for our staff. It's another great season of bent Chetler.
Yeah, it's a great entry-level powder ski too.
100%.
Yeah, it's not super demanding. This one, we chose this kind of as our more playful option. This is the DPS Pagoda RP 112. This ski has been around for a little while in different iterations and different naming and whatnot, but Pagoda is the most up-to-date kind of construction from DPS. They layer the woods in different orientations in between 2 layers of carbon to give you a fairly stiff but really damp and very smooth riding ride. So this is a really great ski for, it's pretty light too, maybe not quite as light as the Bent Chetler, but this is something you could totally tour on as well. The shape is really interesting. It's kind of this really deep rocker profile in the tip and the tail, but it's a little bit more directional in that the tail's a little bit flatter. It's not like a true twin tip, so you can really kind of pressure the shovels and drive it a little bit more, which is really nice. It's not a super centered, slashy ride, so it kind of offers something a little bit different there. With that being said, there's plenty of rocker in here, so it's very easy to maneuver, super intuitive. I was really impressed with how well it floated too. The tip shape just really helps you get on top of the snow, even though it's the most narrow of the options that we have up here at 112. So great versatility, something you could take out on a really deep day, but also kind of navigate those skied out sections and choppy stuff at the end of the day.
What's up with the length, Alex? That's a short size. They also make long sizes?
Yeah, so DPS has gone totally unisex, and they do pretty much a full size run for all their skis, which I think is awesome. This is a 158. It's really hard to find a ski this wide and a ski that kind of on that shorter size. So you can pick from a variety of colors and a variety of lengths, which I think is sweet, and same constructions across the board. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Right on. The next ski is really different from that one. This is the Volkl Revolt 121. So another ski, the name's been around a long time. The 121, this is the second or third iteration of graphics. So when Volkl released the 121 a few years ago, they started as like an artist collab series with different artists. So each year there's new super cool art. I like this year's a bunch. The Revolt 121, if you haven't been on it and you look at it, you might think super playful, super smeary. Volkl athlete Coulter Hinchliffe rips around everywhere on these skis. Makes it look easy. So they are playful, and they do smear, slash, they do all the stuff you want in a powder ski. But they're heavier than you might think. It's a pretty burly powder ski. I would say a lot of our staff who get on the 121 Revolt are expecting maybe a little bit easier going ride than they end up getting, which is awesome if you're a pretty aggressive skier. If you like to make long GS turns down bowls and faces and everything and blast through crud, these do that really well. There is a lot of tail rocker, so keep that in mind. You are going to have still pretty loose tails instead of like really locked in directional ones. Most people looking for powder skis are looking for that though. So these are actually have a really nice blend of playfulness with chargeability. If you're looking for more of an intro powder ski or more something that feels playful and easy to jib and move around, you don't have to work too hard, I'd still point you back to that bent Chetler 120. But if you're looking to launch big airs, charge a little bit more, and you're used to a little heavier skis, you're going to really like the Revolt 121.
Mm-hmm. On the other side of the spectrum now, we have the Armada ARV 116 JJ Ultralight.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, it's quite the title, but it earns it. It's a very lightweight ski, probably the lightest that we have up here, and it's very soft also. So this is something that our playful skiers love. If you listen to what Matt was saying about the Revolt and you're like, I don't know about that, this is the ski for you. Definitely really playful, wants to get sideways really quickly, very intuitive, very snappy. It's got this kind of similar to the Horizon tech and the bent Chetler, kind of this kind of smear tech in the tips, so it floats really nicely. I skied this on a lot of powder days this past year, and it's just so much fun. Gets on top of the snow really easily with the lightweightness and kind of the tip shape. At the same time, because it is so light, when you're kind of getting into that afternoon powder, when things are a little bit chopped up, it definitely isn't going to blast through it like some of these other skis are. It kind of wants to skip around it and turn around it a little bit more, which is great if that's your kind of playful style, but you won't be tackling the fall line at huge speeds on the ultralight. But there is a regular weight version, so if you like the sound of the playfulness and easiness to get sideways, you can go for something a little bit heavier, which is nice.
Maybe powder touring option there too, yeah?
Oh,
weight.
Yeah, definitely.
Sweet. So the last ski that we're talking about, I think this is our 2023 spotlights or fan favorites section. Either way, this is the Salomon QST Blank. They released it a year ago, so it's had a year out in the wild. I actually owned this ski last year. I still own it.
Haven't sold it yet.
Haven't sold it. And it is awesome. I'm a huge fan of the Blank. Really cool, but I always talk about the bases. I'm like an easy sell on colorful bases. Mm-hmm. Anyway, these skis also ski really well. You've got Salomon's Carbon Flax layup, a lot of rocker, pretty low camber under your foot. Something that Salomon added into these newer QSTs also is double sidewall. So this blue is kind of another reinforcement under your foot in the sidewall that gives you a little more torsional rigidity and a little bit more power and stability under your foot, which is pretty sick. But tips and tails for the Blank, super playful and smeary. It's an easygoing ski for taking. It's a 112 underfoot. So if you're skiing this as an everyday, all mountain, big mountain free ride type of ski, it is super versatile. Feels sturdy under your foot, but super intuitive. Taking it through trees and bumps, bowls, because of these kind of softer, super rockered and tapered tips. A little bit more directional tails kind of helps this ski lock into turns. So if you do kind of ski with a more long style, maybe you're an X-racer, you just really like to go fast, the Blank can definitely facilitate that. I'd kind of put it out of the skis I've talked about right in between the bench Chetler 120 and the Revolt 121 as far as how chargy versus easygoing it feels. You can definitely take it easy on the Blank and it's not going to beat you up, but you can also let it rip, and it's got enough backbone to have a really good time. Not as heavy or powerful quite as the 121 Revolt. I threw a Duke PT from Marker on my pair. A shift would work really well too if you want to use it as kind of a crossover everyday powder ski with some touring capabilities. So yeah, I've been a huge fan of the Blank, and that's why I brought it back for this buyer's guide after our staff also liked it. Have you skied the Blank?
Not yet, no. Yeah, just the 106 and the 98 and all that. So.
Down to 178 on these is your shortest size, so it would be sweet if they brought that down a little further.
Yeah, although I was talking to the Salomon rep about this, and he was like, you could totally ski the 186. And he's like, I saw a gal shorter than you go and rip bumps all over the place with it. Well, so
stay tuned for video of Alex skiing the 186.
Maybe the
Blank.
190, whatever.
Yeah. Cool.
We'll see.
Well, that's our roundup of powder skis for our 22-23 buyer's guide. You can read the whole buyer's guide on the Liftline blog. Link is below in the description. You can mash the subscription button to subscribe button to be notified when we post more videos like this one throughout the winter.
Yeah. More reviews all coming.
Yep.
Yeah.
Happy pow chasing.